This next story is about finding light in the darkest of times. Take a look.
Michelle Hord launched her career as a producer for America's Most Wanted, and as she grew professionally, so did her family.
I had been told most of my young adult and adult life that I probably would not be able to have a child. I met Gabrielle's father in my early 20s and were friends, kept in touch, told each other about our bad relationships, and joked that we were the black when Harry met Sally when we finally connected.
Michelle got married, and shortly after, a miracle happened.
Somehow, at 38 years old, I got pregnant, and at 39 years old, gave birth to this beautiful little girl. She was absolutely my miracle baby. Gabrielle was effervescent. She never sat still. She had a great sense of humor. One of the things I'm proudest of is, what I've heard from friends and other parents about how kind she was.
One day, the tables turned, and the kind of shocking headline news she once covered became her personal story.
I was going through a very tumultuous divorce. Gabrielle's father did not want the divorce. And on June 5th, 2017, he agreed to meet with me to sign the paperwork. As he was walking away, he gave me a hug and said, "I'm sorry about everything that's happened during this time." And I said to him, all that matters is that we both love Gabrielle. We were friends first. Let's just focus on co-parenting.
The next day at work, Michelle got the most alarming call.
That's when it became clear to me that this may be something horrific on a scale that was just unimaginable.
She later found out that her 7-year-old daughter, Gabrielle, was killed by her father.
Wow. The strong mother who survived this tragedy joins us live to share more of her story. Michelle D. Hord, welcome to DBL. We are very grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Michelle, before anyone told you what happened to Gabrielle, you had what you called a gut feeling. And I just wanted you to have the floor and explain what that was.
Yeah, initially the call, Gabrielle's caregiver went to the house, and the most blood-curdling scream I'd ever heard, and it was clear she walked into a crime scene. So my initial thought was perhaps my then husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, had killed himself, but I just got this mother's sinking feeling in my gut and called a family friend whose daughter was in Gabrielle's class to ask if they'd seen her that morning, and they had not. And that is when I knew something even darker had occurred.
So Gabrielle would have been 14 years old this week. What emotions are you feeling right now in reflection?
It's hard to not say bittersweet. I have a finite number of pictures, of memories, of videos. I'm grateful for all of them. But what I don't have is what the parents of her friends have, which is the 8th and 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th and 13th and 14th birthdays. So I really try to focus on the wonderful memories I do have and try to center myself with my advocacy work, because I really believe that's where you pull hope from.
So your book, The Other Side of Yet, is a tool for anyone facing challenging times. If you could give one piece of advice through your grieving process, what would that be?
I think the most important thing is there is not a playbook, and to have grace with yourself, give yourself self-care, ask for what you need, and realize that what you need right now may feel very different than what you need even in an hour. But to really just be honest with yourself. If you don't have a community, find a support group, find therapeutic help, but know that you're not alone, and know that step by step you will continue to walk forward in life.
I think I speak for all of us when
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine.
There's so much empathy coming from this panel, just so you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's unthinkable.
Yeah.
It is unthinkable. And for someone, and you guys can relate, working in our business all of these years, to spend so many years on the other side of the police tape, and then to find myself as the mother, there is nothing short of my faith that has kept me alive. And all I could think of as I was being driven away from the crime scene was that whatever God had for me to do in this world must be so powerful that the devil was trying to take me out with everything he could, and I was not going to let that happen. I was going to fight for Gabrielle's memory and for her legacy.
All right, well, I'm going to get it together for Gabrielle. I'm going to ask her about your foundation, Gabrielle's Wings. We're all wearing butterflies in honor today to help keep her memory alive and, all the work you're doing helping other children. So can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So Gabrielle's Wings believes in the butterfly effect, which says that even a small change can have a huge impact. My daughter was blessed as a child of color that was going to have privilege, whether that was private school, lessons, camp, that a lot of children who look like her won't have. So Gabrielle's Wings work is on 3 continents currently. Wow. We've given more than $500,000 so far to elementary age children in vulnerable communities, focused on social emotional learning, computer technology, cultural enrichment, all of the things that we know bridge the gap for children elementary aged.
Wow, she lives on.
Yeah.
She lives on. Michelle, you are remarkable. You are so inspirational. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
DBL Nation, be sure to pick up a copy of Michelle's book, The Other Side of Yet, where all books are sold. Also, visit GabriellesWings.org to support Michelle's foundation. Thank you again, Michelle. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.